Hey guys, welcome back to the Cool Classic Kids Show, and today we have to talk about Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, because this game has inspired an insane amount of salt, while console fanboys on both the Xbox and PlayStation side have been bitching and whining about Zelda. Guess what, guys? I've been playing video games. Yeah, I know, that's so profound for people that are stuck playing Twitter all day, but yeah, I was actually playing video games, and then I was like, oh damn, I actually have to make a video for the weekend, because gotta stay in, the algorithms or whatever the fuck that's supposed to be. And so I was like, damn, what can I make a video on? And then I'm just like, let me browse Twitter, because Twitter always brings about that inspiration in probably all the wrong ways, admittedly so. And so I look and I see a bunch of fucking nerds bitching and whining about Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. The game got, 10 out of 10s all around? It seems to be a pretty damn awesome game in its own right. So, I mean, hey, that's cool. I don't really have a problem with it. Personally, I don't feel comfortable paying $70 for most games. And, with Zelda, I mean, I like Zelda, but I'm not super in love with Zelda, so I'm not really going to throw $70 on it. When it hits a price, that feels more applicable for someone like me who's like a casual Zelda player, I'll pick it up for sure. I just would rather put my money towards games that I'm more inspired to play. So on that front, hey, if you're playing Zelda out there, have fun, man. I hope that it lives up to everything that you want it to be. And, don't be these assholes that need copium out here, if it's on the Xbox or the PlayStation side. But, yo, guys, let's get into these weirdos who are complaining and just seething with anger because, well, they either don't have games to play, PlayStation fanboys, or their games are ass, Xbots. Let's jump right into it. Shout out to my boy Delta here with the sane take. He says, I see people crying about the 30 FPS for Zelda and it's scoring 10s. Did you all forget that it's a 2017 tablet that was already outdated at launch? Also, unlike Redfall, Nintendo didn't lie to you with 60 FPS gameplay for a whole year and then pull the rug out towards launch. And yeah, that's 100% facts, guys. Literally, they were saying Redfall was going to run at 60. And they even had it on the case of the game itself, so you can't sit here and lie through your teeth. But hey man, crusty console Kremlins will do what crusty console Kremlins do. But yeah, literally to expect Zelda to run at what? 60, 1440p? Very unrealistic expectations. But this guy right here, this guy is a funny motherfucker. He says, we expected Xbox One and PS4 to produce 60 FPS when they came out in 2013. And the Switch is part of the Xbox Series X PS5 generation. How many games on Xbox One and PS4 actually are 60 FPS? How many? I'll wait. How many? How fucking many? Out of all the games that have come to Xbox One and PS4, how many of them motherfuckers run at 60? Oh, you can't think of any besides Call of Duty, right? Right? Oh, wait, you have to actually think about, the pro versions. The Xbox, what is it, One X or whatever? You gotta think about those games that came out afterwards. Right? And a lot of those still didn't even run at 60. Yeah, your take is trash. Let's just leave it at that. Your take is absolute trash because a lot of games on Xbox One and PS4 did not run. It did not run at 60. A lot of them barely ran at 30, let's face it. But yeah, guys, now we're going to scroll through this because this is I could spend all day with this, but we're just gonna scroll. We're gonna scroll. Oh my god, video responses. Make it stop. Make it stop. Please, God, make it fucking stop. Oh my god, I think this is the end. Yeah, that's the end. Oh my god. Moving forward. Morty here says, this is funny as hell to me. Redfall at 4K 30 FPS. How dare this? Feels like a game in 2010 with a 50 Metacritic. Zelda 720p can barely hold 30 FPS. Oh my god, it's the best thing since sliced bread. A 9,700 Metacritic. It's just, it's amazing, man, how these Xbox console Kremlins will actually defend the uninspired pile of crap that is Redfall. Of all the things you would sit here and defend, I would rather you sit here and defend Minecraft Legends, even though that got dumped on. But Redfall, it being 30 FPS was the least of the problems, but that was the first sign of trouble. And that's why a lot of us spoke up, man. And sheesh, Redfall deserved all that work and so much more. We were complaining that Xbox, Microsoft, literally advertised the Xbox Series X console as being the 60 and 120 hertz optional console with 4K resolution. And that the Series S was supposed to be the 1440p 60 FPS box. So the fact that you're not bitching at Microsoft when they're giving you Nintendo Switch level frame rates and resolutions, but instead bitching that Nintendo on the Switch, a handheld. Yes, the Switch is a handheld. You're bitching that Nintendo is making handheld games running at 30 FPS, 720p, and he's saying barely holds 30 FPS, bruh. That frame rate on ZELDA, I promise you, is way more stable than Redfall's frame rate. From Redfall launch versus ZELDA launch. The only time ZELDA launches if you have the day one patch. The only time ZELDA's frame rate drops is when you're using that move that makes Link lift stuff up and move stuff around. Other than that, when he's falling from the sky and he's falling at an insane rate, when he's falling from the sky, the frame rate don't drop. So to say that it barely holds 30, there's only one specific instance that we've seen where the frame rate drops. So that's absolute, like, you're over exaggerating, bro. Whereas Redfall, man, you can have a 3060 and that shit still drops to like 13 frames sometimes. Yeah, it doesn't even hold a steady 30. And I was just trying to get it to lock 60. My other buddies who played it on PC, yeah, they didn't have a good time either. It sucked. It was trash. And the fact that you will defend this uninspired Redfall over ZELDA is literally insane to me. Absolutely insane. You should be completely ashamed of yourself. And here's more people. I mean, look, you're saying it's comical. Like Redfall, we're looking at it in disgust, and ZELDA, we're like, okay. Mind you, just so you know, guys, a lot of people will say, oh, ZELDA is a console because it projects on the TV. ZELDA's not a console. It's not even a hybrid. It is a handheld that projects onto a television. That's all it is. Mind you, this right here does the same exact thing. This right here is an analog pocket. I love this thing. This thing's actually one of my favorite hardware devices I bought in a really long time. This will play your handheld games natively. So I have this specifically to play a bunch of GBA games. You could also put emulators on here. So options there. But this thing right here, also, you could play it handheld or you could project it onto a television. It does the same thing. So if you're going to say that ZELDA is a hybrid or it's a console, then this would be considered the same thing. You fucking clown. This is clearly not a console. It is a handheld that projects onto a television. So yes, the Switch is in fact a handheld. Where's everyone saying, oh man, the Vita should be doing 60 FPS? Where are the Vita stands, man? Where are y'all at? Where are the Xbox stands at? Complaining that you don't have a real handheld. Oh man, this is funny. And then more crying, more crying. Oh, Redfall 4K 30, disgusting. Zelda 720p 20 frames. I don't know where this 20 frames narrative is from. It is so rare when the game dips to 20. The only time it happens is literally when you use one specific move. But yes, you know, apparently if you paid $500 for your Xbox Series X, you should be completely okay with 30 FPS. Completely. You should be okay with no options. You should be okay with it. Because you paid $500. You should be bitching to Xbox. Why am I getting Nintendo Switch frame rates? That's really what should be happening right now. And then, we gotta come to Crap Gamer. Yes, Crap Gamer, because this dude has been on a tirade, full defense force for this piece of shit game Redfall. Gotta love it. But this guy here says, I can't play Redfall at 30 FPS. I can't wait. And then also in the same breath, I can't wait to play the new Zelda. Who cares if it's only 30 FPS? So he's basically going at Nintendo peeps, people actually excited for a truly inspired game, a well-crafted game that looks like Zelda. Like, Zelda looks like a genuinely well-crafted game, its own art style that actually looks inspired. It looks pretty despite it being 720p or 900p upscaled to 1080p. Despite it being that resolution, it still looks like a visually inspired game. Whereas Redfall just looks like vomit on your screen. And yes, they're both 30 FPS. But guess what? No Nintendo Switch gamer has paid $500 for their console. You, however, Crap Gamer, paid $500 for your Xbox Series X and are playing at Switch frame rates. You console Kremlin. You crusty console Kremlin. That's what the fuck you are, you idiot. And then he continues on, because it doesn't stop there. Gotta whine and complain about everything. Said, does Link actually talk yet? Or Nintendo's still stuck in the 80s with text? Because apparently Crap Gamer can't read. That's why he doesn't play Zelda games. Can't read, can't play Zelda. You know how many people would be super upset if Nintendo actually had Link talking outright? That would break up the community. Some people would be for and against it. Why would they do that? You know, unlike Naughty Dog with The Last of Us Part 2, Nintendo doesn't want to literally divide their community. That's not something that they want to do. But Crap Gamer over here gonna bitch about Link not speaking. You know what game got ruined because the main protagonist spoke? One game that it completely ruined it for me was Fallout 4. The fact that the main protagonist, the player's character, spoke, destroys the aspect of roleplay. And not only that, they had to accommodate so much lines to not just the main protagonist, depending on which gender you are, but they also had to do all those same lines for the opposite gender. So if you're a chick, yeah, you get half those lines. And then if you're a dude, yeah, that dude is never going to be used. So all those lines are essentially wasted. And guess what? All the other NPCs in the game, yeah, they had all the same dialogue. Yeah, because they had to put so much dialogue towards the main character that the variety in dialogue for the NPCs, terrible variety. Some of the absolute worst variety. It's like no matter what you did, it kind of came to the same conclusion. Very similar statements. Whenever they could possibly copy and paste, they copy and paste it. They need to go to the silent protagonist with Starfield so that I can actually role play. Because that wasn't role play in Fallout 4. That was an action game with role play elements. So yes, please, Starfield, go back to that stuck in the 80s with text. I would prefer that because unlike Crap Gamer, I can actually fucking read. And then we got another one here from Crap Gamer. He says, $70, 19 FPS, PS2 graphics. Same map as last game. Beat in 94 minutes. Wow, game of the year. And you know what? While I refuse to pay 70 for Zelda, I have to say, man, that look, this game is Zelda is so much more inspired than Redfall. It's sad. It's sad that a franchise that came out in 80 fucking 6 can still be more inspired than a brand new IP in modern day. It is shameful. The fact that he's over exaggerating with the 19 FPS, fuck off, bro. Absolute garbage. PS2 graphics, you know what? I'd rather go back to the PS2. You know why? Because there's consistently more good games than come out now. A lot of garbage comes out now with tons and tons of bugs and glitches, and we're told, well, pay up. Pay your $70 for these broken, buggy games. You know how many glitches I've heard about in Zelda? None. I'm sure I'll come across some eventually, but the fact that it's not a widespread issue and the game, for the most part, runs at a steady 30 FPS, hey, that's more than most games on way more powerful hardware on your precious Xbox Series X, on the precious PS5. Yeah, it's more than I could say for a lot of these games running on way more powerful hardware. Sad to say, the state of gaming in 2023 sucks balls. So yes, you know what? PS2 graphics makes me reminiscent of better times in gaming. And you know what? I'd be cool with that. But yeah, guys, it's sad that we're actually bitching about these things, really. But it is what it is. And now we gotta cross over to the ponies. Because the ponies, they're upset. They're already damage controlling for when they lose at the Game Awards. And mind you, these awards are so meaningless to me. The fact that people actually review scores, like these critical review scores, that you get on Metacritic or whatever the hell, those are meaningless to me. Because who are these losers that are scoring these games? I don't value them in any way. A lot of them can't even play video games. And then stuff like the Game Awards. Who the fuck are these people? Do they even play video games? Do they actually know what they're talking about? I don't care or value any of this stuff. So whatever wins Game of the Year this year, I will not give a shit. That's just what it boils down to. I don't value these people in any way, but some of you out there, you guys value the Game Awards and these scores, these numbered scores on Metacritic more than you value your own life, because that's some loser-ass mentality. But this dude right here says, I swear to God, I better see the same energy for Final Fantasy 16 when those reviews go up, or I'm gonna be more bald than I already am. Now, knocking Zelda at all, but reviewers are always super biased when it comes to Nintendo exclusives. So you're automatically saying that Zelda isn't worth the scores that it's receiving. So by that, you are knocking Zelda. You want to knock it down a few notches. You believe that the game, though, who knows, did you play it or not? I can't really see. You think that the game isn't worthy of these scores. So you are, in fact, knocking Zelda, whether you want to believe that or not. But you have also, I doubt you played Zelda, but you also haven't played Final Fantasy 16, and you're already assuming that it's going to be as good as Zelda. And mind you guys, I predict that Final Fantasy 16 is going to be an amazing game. I really think that it is, but I have said openly that if this game bombs, if it launches effed up, if it ends up being a dud, not only will I be crushed, but I will be giving that game that work. So the game better run well day one. Better not have be filled with a bunch of bugs and glitches. It better not have any of that. It better run acceptably well day one at launch. Otherwise, that game is getting that work. But at the end of the day, Zelda seems to be, from what I've heard, a fundamentally solid game. The frame rate is solid. The gameplay is good. The fundamentals are clearly there. A lot of games just completely ignore fundamentals. The game is more thought-provoking from a gameplay aspect than most games will ever sadly be. I think that's pretty cool. I'm interested in getting it. I don't want to pay $70 for a game that I'm intrigued in, but I'm not passionate to play. But I've heard a lot of people playing the game are absolutely adoring it. And, you know, I'm super happy for them. why can't you fucking losers on Twitter be happy? Oh, right, because PlayStation fanboys haven't had shit to play all fucking year. You guys are a bunch of losers, not for nothing. And here's the creme de la creme right here. Because Yoshi P is apparently not putting time into making Final Fantasy 16. And this dude says people arguing over Zelda or Final Fantasy 16. Meanwhile, Final Fantasy 16 producer Yoshi P today working and gaming. Yes, he is obsessively playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So you guys better hope that he's doing his job. I'm just saying, otherwise Final Fantasy 16 ain't gonna be looking too hot. But yeah, guys, there's a lot of clown-ass takes on Twitter. Thank you so much for giving me a Saturday video, because didn't want to leave the whole weekend with nothing out there by any means. So yes, thank you, console Kremlins. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. But the biggest takeaway here, at least in terms of Game of the Year, Zelda came out in 1986 and Final Fantasy came out in 1987. These are some of the long-standing franchises of all time. That and what, like Dragon Quest? These franchises have been around for so damn long. Japanese franchises. They're the biggest and they're the grandest and oldest franchises that have managed to stay relevant after all these decades later. And they're going against each other for the 2023 Game of the Year. That's awesome. That is genuinely crazy to think that these two are going up against each other, head-to-head Game of the Year. They both look absolutely amazing in their own way, in their own unique ways. But there's a sad part of this. There's a pathetic part of this, really. It just goes to show how all these new IPs are dog shit in the grand scheme of things. A lot of them, like your Redfalls, are absolute abominations of video games. Completely unacceptable. A lot of cash grabs, a lot of Game Pass filler, a lot of absolute trash. A lot, and not for nothing, fuck the West. Everyone wants to pretend, oh, the West makes the best games. Look at the two main Game of the Year contenders. You got Zelda from Nintendo and Final Fantasy 16 from Square Enix. Everyone wants to say, oh man, like the Western RPGs are the GOAT. Oh, Starfield is gonna be Game of the Year. We'll be lucky if Starfield actually runs on PC or Xbox day one. Okay, guys? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. The reality is, man, Western game development is absolutely pathetic. This whole modern day, absolutely unartistic piles of crap that are flung at the wall in hopes that it'll stick. The next Fortnites that you guys are chasing, all garbage entertainment at best. At best. So yeah, that's my takeaway. While it's great to see two long-standing franchises go head-to-head, it's also sad and pathetic that a lot of games nowadays honestly just suck and aren't even deserving of our time, let alone our money, and let alone $70. And to be real with you, I'll pay $70 for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom before I pay $70 for the mass majority of crap that's coming out now. So yeah, guys, that's my takeaway from all this. If you can, let me know what you think about this in the comments section down below. Hope you guys found this interesting. If you can, guys, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, or Kick if you'd like to continue the conversation. I just became affiliated on Kick, so I'm super hyped about that. I will be streaming on there. I still will have my YouTube streams. I still hold to that Monday and Thursday Thursday night streaming that I do normally on YouTube. But if I have free time any other day, I'm streaming on Kick. So guys, my Kick content, my YouTube content, completely different. It's a different vibe. It's a lot of fun overall. So guys, if you like to, consider making a Kick account and follow me over there. Or if you already have a Kick account, be sure to follow me there at Cult Classic Cage. Consider becoming a channel member if you'd like instant access to the Discord. It's a good vibe over there if you guys want to hang out with me. And guys, without being said, I'm out. Peace!